Everybody got too drunk.
Paris Chong Show.
Oh, is that what you did?
Everybody did.
No,
We
but
bought a
you haven't drank
kegerator.
since COVID?
No. It took like a moment to sort of like wind it down. But I think that, like in LA, right, everybody stopped drinking, I feel like.
Yeah, no, everybody I know quit drinking.
I think it was a reaction to COVID because everyone was kind of asleep at the wheel, and then everyone in COVID had to wake up, and then everyone like tried to numb it, and then it was too much, and then was like, no, let's live instead.
Yeah, let's stay alive.
I think so.
Yeah. I like wine.
Who doesn't?
So
So do I.
I just can't imagine not
I love
having
wine.
wine.
I love wine.
Yeah, I love
don't
it.
like how it makes me feel
What-
afterwards, and
what
I don't
did
like
you
not
drink?
being
What were you
present.
drinking?
What was I drinking? It was non-discriminatory,
Yeah, anything,
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
take
you
all
don't like being
comers.
present? No, it's good to be present.
Yeah,
It's good to be
now
present.
I probably have the addiction of being present. Like I'm really
now
into
you really know what's going
meditation.
on. Oh,
and
that's good.
Self-hypnosis and like messing about with the insides. You know
So
what I
you
mean?
you hypnotize yourself
Yeah.
to do what?
Talk to you.
You're in hypnotic state right now?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a close-up of this guy.
Exactly.
He's in a hypnotic
Oh,
state.
look,
So-
you've got a subconscious mind and you've got a conscious mind.
Yeah.
And they're fundamentally connected and disconnected, right?
Okay.
But you can do things to have them interface in a different way. That's what self-hypnosis is about, right?
Right.
So under normal circumstances, everything that's going on in the subconscious mind doesn't talk to the conscious mind because you would explode. You couldn't take it.
Now, where are you studying your spirituality? That's just you didn't
just-
read a book or go to a church or wow.
I don't consider
just came
I don't
from
consider
being
it
present.
spirituality.
Yeah. Right.
I just consider it the inner self
Yeah.
that you might not often have. I don't think that's.
I always think the inner self is God. Like that's the God.
Okay.
That there wasn't really a guy in a robe and a woman but there.
Yeah, that story does seem unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think that happened,
Right.
so I don't think there's someone like that's going to meet us in heaven or something like that.
Right.
I
Well,
think
I mean,
that
I-
the God is like
yeah.
something to do with
Sure.
like your inner self.
Right. Well, I think that the everything is the everything, so that
Okay.
there is no distinction between anything at all. I think that we perceive distinction between objects, people, ourselves. That's just because of our equipment, our
Right.
eyes and our brain. And
Right.
that's just the best we can
So
do.
what do you think happens to you when we leave this earth?
I think you just try. I don't. It's funny to me that there's a question around it since we
Well,
know what happens.
it's a big question for me because it scares me,
Okay, well, on a physical level, we know what happens.
and you're gone.
Well, you're not gone. You're diffused.
I don't know that. No, I know, but
No, no.
diffused. Oh, dissolved, diffused.
Well, there's nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
You can only transform. The particles that make you...
Which
Well,
is sad. So that's the thing that's so sad to me is because you kind of actually do die. You personally do. That's it.
Your organization that you call your body, the machine that you call your body, will cease to function doing the things that it does, and it will dissipate.
Yeah. And then you're floating around as a spirit.
Or maybe you're, Disco's kid or whatever,
Wow.
or some part of his fur. Remember that you're not yourself at any moment, right? You
Yeah.
are leaving bits of yourself and gaining other bits through the food that you eat. We have this perception of being individual and static in some way. The opposite is true. We're in constant change and motion. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is your organs will stop working in some way, but it scares us
It's
because
still sad. It's scary. It's scary because you really don't know because no one's here to tell us what happened. So that's the unknown is kind of scary.
Like
right?
when my kid asked me about this, I was like, if you're scared of death, like, were you scared before you were alive? Did that scare you? What do you think happened to you? Who do you think or what do you think you were before you were alive, if you've ever thought about that?
I don't think we come back as animals or anything like that. I think it's more of a spirit thing. I don't know. But I'm not an expert on this. So
I understand that, but my point is that why be scared of death if you weren't scared of
because
life?
I think it's mainly because I love it so much that I don't want it to end. That's for me.
Just have a good time.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, I don't want it to end. I don't want. Why would it end?
It's like the club is closing
This
down.
is so much fun. I don't want this to go away.
That's
I'll look
cool.
at little kids and be like, they're just gonna be gone one day. Like that's just so nutty to me. We all come in here and then we leave and then we don't know what. Anyways, let's talk about your music.
All right then.
So now the band, the album. You make an album. You want to make an album that's Andrew Raiher. It's just you singing your music, and it's going to be kind of rock. And when do you think you might have that ready?
bloody hell, it's like talking to the record company. Yeah, I don't know. It's a new idea. I've always been a work for hire person. My music, with some important exceptions, has normally been the result of someone saying, I or we need this for this project on the following day in the following way.
Right.
I've normally allowed my real creativity to be driven by that kind of process. In this moment, it feels like the first time that I'm like, I think I'll set the terms. I don't know the answers to your questions.
Yeah. So you mentioned a record company, but don't you think people aren't really working with record companies anymore? They're more they're selling their own, like all the streaming services and doing things in a different way than they used to. Because, my ex-boyfriend was with Virgin Records, but
Right.
I don't think it's the same way now.
There are moments where a lot of artists still definitely need record companies.
Really? So
Oh, yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
like the biggest record company right now? That's
EMI.
EMI.
Yeah, or UMG.
Didn't Sally used to be
UMG.
published with EMI?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, they all have publishing arms and
Yeah.
record arms. So whether you need resources to help you get your album recorded or mixed or mastered, what are they? They're just agents. They're
Yeah.
agents for all the different in-house services, but
Yeah.
they contract out.
Right.
But do you want to market your own album? Maybe you do. Do you want to learn to be an international quality marketer? Do you? Or do you want to work with partner with a record company and have them do some of that for you? That's all we're talking about. That's what the
Yeah.
record company's for.
Right.
They're just making things easier. They're facilitating.
It just doesn't seem like it's the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like it's the same that people are getting record deals the same way they used to.
You're right.
And then
It has changed, yeah.
mainly like the big pop stars, they actually have their own record company, or they're going through their own company, so they're not really needing.
Yeah, but
anybody
what do you
else?
think they're doing? They're signing artists. Those big artists who have their own record companies, which are usually subsidiaries of major labels, they're out there trying to develop artists and repeat themselves, so they don't have to go to work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Oh.
It's not the record companies are dead. It's that they have less power for the average self-made artist.
Right.
Like the ladder is still the same kind of thing. It's just that the rungs are in different places, and
Yeah.
you can kind of make your own in a different way. It depends what you're
So
trying
you're
to do
going to
and on
try
what
to,
scale.
yeah, you're going to go through the record company route when you get this project.
I
up and
mean,
running.
I will do what makes most strategic sense
Yeah.
for me in that moment.
Who are you working with now?
No. Well,
Like
I've
when
just
you
been
do-
doing a thing with Warner's because it was for a Bowie remake album. Right?
Wow.
Which is very cool. And you go where the people are. You go where you need to go to get done what you need to get done.
Right.
And if you know someone, that's great.
Yeah. That's
And
always good.
I know a bunch of people at UMG, and if it means that I work with them, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's always good to have connections, especially in Los Angeles. You
Yeah.
kind of need them, right?
I mean, you can't get down the street otherwise. Yeah.
Well, I am so happy that you're back, and I think we got some good information out of you this time.
You're talking
And-
about the tattoo on my ankle.
Yeah,
I
I'm glad we
assume,
got.
yeah.
That was the main reason I asked you to come in.
Well,
it was
obviously,
like I heard
right.
you had a tattoo on your ankle. I was like, get his ass
Right,
back in here
right,
immediately.
Exactly.
It's the Paris Chong Show.